Hi everyone, I'm Richard from System Plus. Today we're going to be looking at the Windows 10 Start menu. Um, it's coming on after something Windows 8. Not a lot of people got with the Windows 8 Start menu. They didn't understand it, the Metro interface, where the icon gone in the bottom left hand corner. It wasn't sort of accepted by the masses, I don't think, and Microsoft put themselves on the back foot, I'm afraid. So they're now trying to regain ground. I mean, as history goes, with the likes of starting all the way back from Windows 95, the Start menu is as common as home as sliced bread. It never really changed all the way through all the versions, whether it was 95, 98, even up to Windows XP, when the Windows Start menu started to become something you could really use. The right hand, left hand column, being able to see your stuff and access it and customize it, pin things to the Start menu, most recent used apps. They stuck with this in Vista. This also worked really, really well. I thought they were getting somewhere, and with Windows 7, it was pretty much perfectly refined. Everyone was loving it. Then Windows 8 came, and the whole thing sort of just vanished. This new interface, this touch interface designed for people, was it going to work? No one really got with it. You couldn't do as much as you could with all the other start menus, and basically they just lost the love of the people. So now with Windows 10, they're trying to bring it all back. They're trying to bring the start menu back and kind of trying to bring your faith and love back to Microsoft. So we're going to have a look at that today, how to customize it, how to use it, what you can do with it, and how basically it is just the new start menu. So let's jump right in. As Windows 10 as an operating system goes, I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's clean cut, it's modern, it takes all the best features of Windows 7 and Windows 8 and brings them to this really, really nice clean cut interface. They've done away now with the full screen start menu, although that is an option. You can have that back if you did enjoy it in Windows 8. And they've now gone for a more traditional start menu. Down here in the bottom left, we've got the return of the start menu, if you can still call it that, even though it doesn't say start anymore. And it looks a lot more like what we're used to. They've kept the left and right hand column sort of layout with your most used apps here and the getting the work done stuff down here in the bottom left. The right hand side, the tile system, the original Metro interface that they kept from Windows 8 has returned with these live tiles. A lot of people like these, a lot of people don't. Again, the whole essence of this system was for touch. The idea that you'd go out on your Windows 10 tablet or your smartphone and you'd be able to just touch this with a finger. Great if you're using your fingers for the everyday work. If you've got a mouse on Windows 8, it got a little bit tedious and a little bit annoying because, well, a mouse is a lot more accurate. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think they've done a really, really good job. And if you know what you're doing, you can customize this entire thing to work exactly as you want it to. So we're going to have a look at some of these features and see what you can do. And I think once we're done, you'll really enjoy it too. Okay, so the first thing you notice, I think, with the Windows 10 Start menu is just how clean cut it is. With Windows 8.1, the problem was it was simple, but it was a little too simple. You couldn't really get the work done. You found yourself pinning things here and there, and it was a little bit uncomfortable. A lot of people I found just ended up going back to the desktop and working on the desktop and not really using the start menu as Microsoft hoped. So with Windows 10, they've brought the features back, but they've given you a little bit more control so that it acts like a start menu, but you still have the clean cut facilities of Windows 8. With this, there's lots you can do. I guess the first thing to say, to work on really, is the actual the live tiles themselves. These are absolutely fantastic. These are totally customizable. You can simply click and hold down, and then you can drag these wherever you like. You can customize these. One of the things a lot of people I heard say was, I don't like this vertical scrolling, and they don't realize that if you just grab at the far right hand side here, hold it down, you can actually pull the start menu out as far as you like. So again, you're going a little bit Windows 8 here, and I'll show you later on how to create the original Windows 8 full Metro screen interface if you like. With this, you can then categorize your start menu. So you can see here you've got titles. So let's say if the first one is just going to be for work, that's great, and your second one here is for play. And then you can categorize stuff, so you can bring whatever you want from wherever you want. You can categorize it how you like. Let's say that's looking a little cluttered. You can resize these tiles. Dependent on the tile, it will give you a select set of options. Sometimes you can't make them too small, sometimes you can't make them wide, that kind of thing. But you can certainly go through them, and with that, just sort of organize them how you wish. Now, you're going to have to bear with me here, because if there's one thing the start menu loves doing, it's showing me up. You can also remove, dead easy to remove. You can just either unpin, or if there's something you wish from the all apps list, again, like you used to do in Windows 8, you can scroll through and just pick what you like, food and drink, and you can pin that to the start menu and that appear, and then you can either create a new group if you like, or bring it over here. So yeah, really good system, and I think a lot of people will use that. You can also pin, if, for example, if you want your documents on here, so you can use Cortana to bring up your documents, whatever you like. If it's your pictures, maybe you want to your iTunes, that kind of thing. You can absolutely pin every single thing to your start menu. So it can become a really good area of work. There's an awful lot you can do there. Let's just organize this up a bit so we're not all over the place and resize this. So just simply grabbing here on the right, we can resize this, and you can have this going out across the full width of your screen if you like, which is quite handy. Personally, I like my stuff nice and minimal. Just click back here. Whenever I set up a machine, I pretty much just remove absolutely everything, because a lot of people from out of the box, Windows 10 does have an awful lot of tiles on here. I don't own an Xbox, for example, so that will never really be anything I want. So we can unpin all of these, and just by right-clicking and pinning, a good example here, we now have a completely blank start menu. And from there, you can then build that up as you wish. So maybe the most common one for you is your internet. So yeah, from there, then possibly your second one is going to be your email. So just calculator, big one, pin to start menu. And as you can see, you can start building up this list. Yeah, let's get Office one day and go through it. So with the live tile system, really easy to use. Like I say, the resizing, the unpinning from here, just like on your smartphone, you can now uninstall applications from the start menu simply by right clicking. So if I find a fully fledged app, let's say Firefox for example, we pin that to start, we can actually uninstall it straight from the start menu. We don't have to go back to the programs and features to do an uninstall. So yeah, live tiles, lots and lots of benefits there. Going back to what I said before about using the File Explorer, a lot of people used to love in Windows XP and Windows 7 the fact that on the start menu were listed things like documents, pictures, that kind of stuff. Well, that's completely possible again. From the start menu, if you select File Explorer, this will bring you to what was My Computer, but here you can obviously see those document headed. So documents, downloads, music, pictures, all really, really common folders for end users to be in. So by simply right clicking, you can see pin to start, and you can do this with whichever ones you want. Maybe you're not into music, you don't have iTunes, anything like that, but you do a lot of downloading, you have a lot of Word documents, that kind of stuff. You can pin all of these to the start menu, and when you get there, you'll see them arrive. Again, you can resize these, you can just have them on their own separate little area if you want. Really, really handy. Just right click, resize, and then just grab the icon, hold your mouse button down, and you can drag them wherever you like. Again, with this fully customized, it can be a very, very, very powerful working area. The fact that you can pin documents now, individual documents, so let's say you have your accounts file, you can pin that directly to the start menu just to get up there. The beauty of that is you can then go ahead and you can keep your desktop nice and clear, because as we know, tons of icons on the desktop slow down the startup and can actually impact quite severely on Windows performance. So one of the things I get asked a lot, and I used to get asked a lot in Windows 8 as well, was, well, Richard, how do you turn it off? How do you shut it down? Do I just leave it at night and then it goes off on its own? I mean, it's being treated like a mobile device, isn't it? Well, in Windows 8, yeah, it wasn't as easy. You had those trinkets that you had to, whatever they were called, the charms going up in your top left and your top right and all over the place, trying to use your finger, your mouse. It was horrible. Well, with Windows 10, it's much easier now. You just simply right-click the Start menu, and you get all these wonderful options. Now, in my opinion, I don't know why this couldn't have been done back in Windows 95. I think these key options here are absolutely fantastic at just one click away. But as you can see towards the bottom, you have this here, shut down or sign out. And you have the key options there. You can restart your computer, you can shut down, sleep, whatever you want. That's simply right-click the Start menu, shut down or sign out. From here also, you can get to some very, very quick commands. Command prompt admin in brackets. If you want to do an elevated command prompt, maybe you're doing a ping or an IP config and you need the admin privileges to do that, you can quickly get to that now. Programs and features, if you want to uninstall something or perhaps add a feature like Internet Explorer, you want to remove Internet Explorer, perhaps you want to add .NET Framework to your Windows 10 system, you can do that. Device Manager, if you're having a problem with a printer, a webcam, any of your devices on your computer, you're now just a click away from that. Disk Management, some of these features, don't know if you ever want to be really in there. If you're going into disk management, it can show you the partition information of your computer, whether you have basic or dynamic disks. If you're not comfortable with that kind of stuff, same with me. If my car goes wrong, I don't lift up the bonnet. I send it to someone who knows what they're doing. In this case, kind of do the same. The system one here, that gives you information about your computer, how much memory you have, what operating system you're running. Well, obviously you know it's Windows 10, but what version of Windows 10, that kind of stuff. And just basic general outlay of your computer. It's good to know sometimes in case someone asks. So yeah, the features on here are absolutely fantastic. One of the things that you can get from the new Windows 10 start menu, and does cause a little bit of confusion, it threw a few people when it first happened, is this dual sort of control panel now. The Windows 10 control panel versus the traditional Windows control panel. There's no other way really to say it. If you right click on the start menu to bring up your main system options, you can see that there's control panel as you know and love it. And you'll recognize these. For example, if we take this from category to large icons, that begins to look very much like Windows 7. All the options you remember in there, sort of your display, your fonts, that kind of stuff, any third-party software, that's in there. But now, if you press the start menu again with your left mouse button, you can see there's a settings tab here, and then we enter the new effective touch-friendly control panel. From here, one of the key options is updates. This is the quick way now to Windows updates. You can deal with your Microsoft account in here, your personalization, whether you want themes or backgrounds, that kind of stuff. You can quickly manage your printers, that kind of thing. If there's problems with your Wi-Fi, you can go from there. So yeah, two ways of doing one thing. The Windows 10 way, as you can see, as always, spaced out, easy for touch. If you want to get the work done, you can come here quickly, but if there's a more in-depth problem, then head over to the traditional control panel and you can get everything you need there. So yeah, just to make you aware of that, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just these are more shortcuts to get the most basic of tasks done. Now, finally on this sort of section with the start menu, we've covered the basics. There are a few other options I guess some of you want out there. I said earlier on that if you wanted, you could go back to the full screen Windows 8 Metro system. Well, that is possible. If you did enjoy that interface, you can simply press the start button in the bottom left hand corner and go to settings. From there, this will bring you up the Windows 10 control panel style, and what you can do is if you go to personalization, you will see here on the left there is a start option. Now within there's some more options, so you can turn off your most used apps and you can show your recently added apps, and if we turn those off and go back, you can see that it clears up the start menu completely. Re-enable those and everything we've been using comes back. Now this option here, use the full start screen. A lot of people do like it, so if we turn that on and we now press the start button, you can see that it brings us back to the traditional Windows 8 start menu. It fills the whole screen and we can now drag these items everywhere. So a lot of people love it, a lot of people don't. If you want to use that feature, you certainly can. If we turn that back off, you can see we then get the traditional new Windows 10 start menu. So just something for you to know there, and it's quite handy to have. Okay, so we'll finish this video talking about Windows 10's possibly most powerful feature, and that is Cortana. They've kind of taken out the basic local search system of all the other operating systems, and they've given it its own lease of life. Cortana is kind of Microsoft catching up with Siri from Apple and Google with their search system. Cortana is powered by the mighty Microsoft Azure, which is their supercomputer in the cloud, kind of Skynet if you want to call it. If you sign into Windows 10 using a Microsoft account, you can actually customize Cortana just simply by using her. She will begin to learn what you're into, what you're searching for, and she'll begin to aid you with that. Let's say you have regular meetings or you're into a specific subject, she will begin to see that this is what's happening. All this information is obviously processed at the Microsoft supercomputer Azure, so read into that as you will. A lot of people have a lot of problems with that kind of data usage and where is my data going, but that's not for me to say. So Cortana you can simply access. Again, I would recommend that you sign up for a Microsoft account. Most devices now require an account. If you go out and buy a Samsung smartphone, you need a Samsung account. If you buy a Nexus phone, you require a Google account, Apple account. So it's now just commonplace that Microsoft follows suit. The key idea of the account is that all Microsoft products are then going to tie to you, again with Office 365, which is covered in another video. Everything to do with that account, your payment system, the products you've purchased will all be nicely, neatly under one clean shell. So once you've signed in, you can simply click the search and it brings up Cortana. From here, you can search for absolutely everything. The way Cortana works is she looks locally first, then she'll go out onto the web and try and find what she can for you. So for example, if I type Word, you can see there that she's looked inside this computer and said, well, look, you've got Word installed. Do you want to run it? After that, she's gone outside and tried to find things related to Word on the internet. If I type iTunes, for example, you can see she hits me up with some common features. So downloading iTunes, I have iTunes here, and then she's gone out into the world to find it. She's much cleverer than that as well. You can sort of ask her logical questions like, well, I don't know, Cortana, what is 4 plus 10? And she'll hit you straight out with the answer 14. There's all kinds of things you can do. Cortana is totally voice active as well, so if you have a microphone, you can talk to her and she'll answer back in a sort of Siri type way, which is pretty cool. If you're not into this great big search button here, this great big search bar, you can reduce that. Simply right click on the taskbar, go to search, and you can either hide her completely or you can just show the magnifying glass. Exactly the same Cortana, just a little bit less space used, and it does look much neater. So yeah, get into Cortana, give her a go. Every computer document, every document that you create, whether it be a Word document, Excel, whatever you create is indexed with Windows 10. So in a few months' time, if you're thinking of a document you created last July, you can think to yourself, oh, what was that? You can use Cortana, quickly search, and because it's indexed, she'll bring it straight up instantly. So really, really handy feature. It's kind of the way Microsoft are going, and it is the future there. So today we've covered the Windows 10 Start menu, some of its best features, some of its more common features that you'll really be getting used to, and we've had a quick look at Cortana. Of course, as always, if you think I've missed something, please get in contact with us over at system.plus. You can email us at info@system.plus, give us your feedback, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos. Once again, many thanks for watching.